I actually cut out the intro because I always run short on my keynote, so I just want to jump right into it. I want to thank you for having me be a member of Abundance. I'm proud to be a member of Abundance. I thought I'd share some stories from the front lines of professional coaching today. And what I'd like to do first is just share some areas of expertise around my career coaching, my business coaching, and speaking in the workshops that I do. I'd like to help you, help me, help more people. Y'all know me, I'm a business coach, I'm a career coach. I wrote an Amazon best-selling book on building relationships, and if you search Yelp, I come up #1 for Los Angeles for career coach. What I'm passionate about is you, me, and possibilities. I was really inspired by Claudia putting up her 5-year-old picture a couple weeks ago, because we all got to take care of the 5-year-old, don't we? And you'd be amazed how much the 5-year-old shows up in business coaching. One of the things that I teach people in career transition as well as business clients is how to go out and build their business or make career transitions through building relationships. I'm blessed that Dr. Meisner, founder of BNI, wrote the foreword for my book. He was basically saying that Darrell is teaching professionals what we've known in BNI all along, which is it's about relationships. So what I'd like to do is share how that fits in with the career transition work that I do. This is a client I worked with this past year. His name is Sundar. He was the COO of an $80 million division of Teledyne, which is a Fortune 500 company. He found me on Yelp. You never know who will find you on Yelp. PhD scientist, bored with his career path. Teledyne is a very hierarchical, almost militaristic kind of organization, not into innovation or fun things. And so he was really tired of what he was doing. So I took him through a transition program which first had him realize his awesomeness, which we're mostly blind to ourselves, and a branding process, and then I got him out into what I call a backdoor research campaign, where rather than looking for a job, he was actually out talking to people about the things that fascinated him. He's kind of a real genius, geek, savant kind of guy. He's into everything, artificial intelligence, driverless cars, all of this. And by being out there just talking to people, he is now this is a mouthful, but he's now the chief delegate to the World Economic Forum for the 4th Industrial Revolution from Mitsubishi Chemical Holdings. Say that 5 times fast. But what it is, up in the Bay Area, they have this kind of United Nations where they have delegates from all over the world and major corporations, and he's there representing Mitsubishi, and they're planning what's happening next in the world. So he's on cloud 9. I want to talk a little bit about my business coaching. I have a method called the play game method that gets people outside their comfort zones in a playful way. I'm going to use a client that I work with here in Long Beach. They're a woman-owned company, and they went through this method with me last year. First thing you got to do is you got to name the game and get in touch with the purpose. I don't know if any of you have heard of Simon Sinek. You got to start with why. So really getting clear of the purpose, what is going to pull you through the game. So we looked at their purpose. By the way, they played a game as an organization, but each member of the organization had their own game within the game. So they're all playing for what's going to bring them forward, and it moves the company forward. So their purpose was about self-expression, owning their authority in the industry, getting outside their comfort zones. Some of the values they stood for are transformation, education, connection. Then we looked to see, well, what are the objectives we're going to produce out of this game? So they wanted to create unrecognizable sales, a solid marketing campaign, clear and concise messaging. If you're going to play a big enough game, you're going to have to grow in your skills. So we looked to see, well, what do they want to grow in mastery of? Open communication, both with their clients as well as within the organization. Confidence and courage, sales mastery, and commitment. If you're going to play a big enough game, you also want to end the game somebody beyond who started the game. So who were they becoming? They were becoming disciplined, leaders, fearless, and operating out of powerful commitments. I won't say much about upgrades, but basically the environments help impact your results being produced. So we look into the environments that are going on in the organization. Some of the results they want to produce, $1.5 million in premiums by December 31st. Something as simple as starting to have weekly team meetings versus just conversations in the hall. can make such a difference. I just wanted y'all to hear a little bit from them as to how the game worked for them. If this works.
Hi, my name is Crystal Williams, and president of RX Dreams. I met Darrell a few years ago, and since then, I had worked with him on a business level as well as on a personal level. Our game for our company is moving on up, and it was about a 6-month game, and it went really well. We met our goals. We laid out all of our concerns, all of our stumbling blocks, and all of the things that we wanted to accomplish. And it was truly a journey, and it was an exciting journey. It was a fun journey, and we got to accomplish everything that we had set out to. And what I really liked about the game that we had set up is that it related to all of our personal games. Mine specifically was just moving the company, as well as moving the people who work for the company, my staff, up to their personal goals, which reflected in the company growing. And I could just see that reflected in both of my employees' gains. Personally, their confidence has increased dramatically. They're very confident. They're more involved, more engaged. So, both personally and for the company, it's been a great journey.
And Sharon was one of the team members.
When I first got introduced to the game, I was kind of skeptical about it. I really didn't know if this would work. But as the weeks went on, and I played more and more, I engaged more and more, I committed more and more to our goals, it built some sort of confidence in myself that I never knew existed.
Jessica's another team member.
From a work perspective, we played a game all together, a big game, and I saw all of us really coming together in a way that I never had before. Even though we are a tight-knit office and we are able to talk every day, I really found that we were holding each other more accountable, we were talking more, we were having more weekly meetings and even eating lunches together, which we don't typically do. And a lot of this was really just orchestrated from Darrell and his ability to really kind of get us talking and really kind of get us thinking about what truly are our goals and how do we want to accomplish them.
So, how you can help me help people is ask some questions in terms of the career transition side. How's applying for jobs working for you? It's kind of like the Dr. Phil question, how's it working for you? Who's your business coach? That'll either elicit a name or it'll elicit someone saying, I don't have a business coach. Would you like to save a day a week for other things? If you're going to work with a business coach, you at least want to be 20% more effective at a minimum, and that's a full day out of a 5-day work week. Who to refer me to? I work really well with other coaches. It's been some of my best connections through BNI. HR executives, financial planners, business and divorce attorneys often know people who are needing to get back to work. I handed out a flyer here for everyone. I would invite you, if you would, to look at the second and third pages. I am, as I said, leading masterminds now to help business leaders help each other to move forward. And I'd love any referrals to speaking opportunities. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Great job. Now that we know more about what Mr. Darrell does, let's do our best to bring him qualified referrals in the next week. Now we have the opportunity to hear from Mr.